Hi, I'm Eric. Today I've got this Honda Pilot in the bay so I can show you how easy it is to add the convenience of remote start to your vehicle with StartX. This StartX kit is plug and play and compatible with 2009 to 2015 Honda Pilots. We're confident that using a few basic tools, you can complete this upgrade to your own vehicle in the comfort of your garage in about 1 hour. Let's take a look at what's included in the box. We have the remote start module, our vehicle-specific plug-in harness, a pry tool, a warning sticker that lets people know we have a remote starter equipped on the vehicle, and the instruction manual. Let's take a look at the tools we'll use on today's install. A wrench with a 10mm socket to disconnect the negative terminal of the battery. Your vehicle may use a different size socket. We've got a drill with a Phillips bit, a pry tool, and some crimpers or wire cutters. Let's take a closer look at what's included in our vehicle-specific harness packaging. There's included zip ties which you can use to bundle up your wiring, keeping things neat under the dash. There's also a hood pin switch, which is not required for your installation. The hood pin switch's job is to stop the remote starter from functioning if the vehicle's hood is open. Many vehicles won't remote start if the hood is open anyway, which is why this is an optional installation and not required. We have our vehicle-specific connection harness or harnesses, and many times we have multiple harnesses. One may be larger with heavy gauge wires, which is typically our ignition harness. We may have a secondary harness, in this case our immobilizer T-harness, which has smaller gauge wires which are typically data signals. We make T-harness connections under the steering column, then we connect these connectors to the module. Before we begin our installation, we're going to disconnect the vehicle's negative battery terminal. This typically requires a ratchet with a 10mm socket. Your vehicle may require a different size socket. Loosen the bolt, slide the connector off. It may help to wiggle it while removing. Under the steering column, there are 3 Phillips screws that we want to remove. Here, here, and here. Next, we'll separate the steering column cover. Inserting the key and turning the vehicle to the on or run position will allow us to rotate the steering wheel. This provides access to the Phillips screw on the side. Remove this screw. Then we can rotate the wheel the opposite way and remove the screw on the opposite side. While pulling down on the lower half, insert a nylon pry tool into the seam between the 2 panels to separate them. Then remove the key from the ignition. If we lower the tilt lock lever, it makes it easier to pass the lower plastic cover over the lever. If we lift the steering wheel up as high as possible and lock it into position, this will give us better access to the connectors below. Both of these T-harnesses will get connected in line here below the steering wheel. There's a latch tab on the top side of this small green connector. Press down on the latch tab, then pull it toward you to release it. Now plug it into our mating green connector on the smaller T-harness. Then take the white connector on the other end of this T-harness with the latch tab on the top and insert it back into the OEM location. This is our T-harness connected in line. Now we have our larger white ignition harness with large gauge wires. This connector latch system is unique. Using a pry tool, we want to pull this small lever on the side of the connector toward the rear of the vehicle. Press the smallest latch tab toward the larger latch tab on the outside of the connector. Then pull this latch lever out while pulling the harness out. Plug this connector into the female connector in the T-harness and engage the latch. Prepare the male connector by using the pry tool to press the small latch outward to pull the whole lever out. Then insert the connector into the OEM location, pressing the latch tab in while inserting the connector. Ensure this harness is fully latched. The connector on the other end of this harness is for the remote start module. Pass it down behind the dash into the area by the pedals. This is our ignition harness connected in line. Now, before we can program the module, we need to reconnect the vehicle's negative battery terminal. Press and hold the programming button on the module. While still holding the button in, insert the small black connector. Wait for the red LEDs to flash. When the red LEDs flash, the module has been reset. We can release the programming button. Plug the remaining connectors into the remote start module. Insert the key into the ignition. Turn the key to the run position, but don't start the vehicle. The red LED will illuminate. The green LEDs will illuminate, and then turn off. Now we can turn the key off and remove it. Press the unlock button on the OEM key fob once. If the key has a power liftgate button, press and hold that button to open the liftgate. Allow it to open fully. Now press and hold the button again to close the liftgate. Now insert the key into the ignition and start the vehicle. Let it run for at least 15 seconds. Now press down the brake pedal. Then press and release the programming button. Now take your foot off the brake pedal. Wait for the green LEDs to flash. The green LEDs flashing indicates that programming is complete. Turn the vehicle off and remove the key. Now we can use the supplied zip ties to secure the module behind the dash. Bundle the wiring excess and secure it with some zip ties. Then secure the module and the wiring to the OEM components behind the dash. Trimming the excess off the zip ties keeps the installation as tidy as possible. There are mounting holes on the end of the module. Zip ties can be passed through these holes to help secure the module. Here we can see the module secured up under the dash. Reinstall the lower half of the steering column by sliding it over the tilt lock lever and into position. Then align the two halves and snap them back together. As you can see here, sometimes it's a little tricky to get them to align correctly, but with patience, it can be done.
reinsert the key into the ignition and turn it to the on position, so you can rotate the steering wheel and reinstall the Phillips screws on each side. Finally, reinstall the 3 Phillips screws on the bottom of the steering column. These 2 with the pointed tips go here and here. The flat-tipped screw goes down here at the bottom.
And that completes the installation of our StartX remote starter in our Honda Pilot. Now we simply press the lock button 3 times from our factory key fob and we can remote start our vehicle. We hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching.